Hey guys, welcome to my channel, Hotspot with Loveth and Favor, your ultimate destination for the juiciest gossip, exclusive movie insights, and the latest celebrity updates. Subscribe now. Ife's world shattered into a million fragmented pieces the moment she witnessed the unthinkable unfold before her very eyes. The tranquility of her family's luxury living room, once a sanctuary of comfort and security, morphed into a scene straight from a nightmare, a scene she could never erase from her memory. It was an evening that started like any other, filled with the laughter of her parents and the warmth of their affection enveloping her like a protective cocoon. Yet, in an instant, that warmth was replaced by a chilling dread that seeped into the very marrow of her bones. As the echoes of gunfire reverberated through the air, Ife's instinct for self-preservation kicked in like a primal force, propelling her into action. With the reflexes of a cornered animal, she sought refuge in the shadows, her heart pounding in her chest like a drum of impending doom. She dared not make a sound, else the assassinators of her parents will find her and met the same fate on her. The seconds stretched into agonizing eternities as she clung to the hope that this was all just a mere illusion, a cruel trick played by the fickle hands of fate. But reality, as it often does, proved mercilessly unyielding. Peering through the veil of darkness, Ife watched in silent horror as her beloved parents, pillars of strength and sources of unconditional love, were mercilessly cut down before her very eyes. The blood-stained picture etched itself into her consciousness with a searing intensity, each detail seared into her mind like a brand of indelible anguish. The scent of gunpowder hung heavy in the air, mingling with the metallic tang of spilled blood, a sinister symphony that heralded the end of innocence and the dawn of a new, harrowing chapter in Ife's life. In the aftermath of the tragedy, whispers of conspiracy and betrayal swirled like toxic tendrils through the corridors of Ife's shattered world. It was said that her father, a man of boundless ambition and unparalleled success, had amassed a legion of enemies in his relentless pursuit of wealth and power. Jealous rivals locked in the shadows, their envy festering like a malignant tumor, until it metastasized into a murderous vendetta. The assassins who had snuffed out the lives of Ife's parents were but pawns in a deadly game of greed and retribution, a game in which the stakes were nothing less than the soul of a nation. The weight of fear hung heavy around Ife like a suffocating cloak, each passing moment a reminder of the ever-present threat that loomed over her like a shadow specter. The constant nightmares, cruel whispers that echoed through the corridors of her mind served as harbingers of grim fate that awaited her, should she remain ensnared in the tangled web of danger that had ensnared her family. With each restless night, the specter of death drew closer, its icy fingers inching ever closer to claim her as its next victim. But Ife was not one to surrender to despair without a fight. In the depths of her darkest hours, she found within herself a wellspring of resilience, a fierce determination to defy the looming danger that threatened to extinguish the flame of her existence. And so, with a heavy heart and a resolve as unyielding and tempered steel, she made the agonizing decision to leave behind the opulent trappings of her former life in pursuit of a new beginning, a chance to escape the clutches of fate and carve out a future where her life was not measured in gold, but in the precious moments of fleeting joy and peace. With just a box of clothes and the memories of her past weighing heavy on her heart, Ife embarked on a journey into the unknown. Each step a testament to her indomitable spirit and unshakable resolve. She knew that the road ahead would be fraught with peril and uncertainty, but she refused to be cowed by the specter of fear that threatened to consume her from within. For her, the greatest wealth lay not in material possessions, but in the priceless gift of life itself, a gift that she was determined to safeguard at all costs. As the miles stretched on and the landscape unfolded before her like a tapestry of endless possibilities, Ife found solace in the simple beauty of the world around her. A beauty that had been obscured by the gilded cage of her former existence. She marveled at the kaleidoscope of colors that painted the sky at dawn and danced in the gentle breeze that whispered through the trees. Each moment, a precious reminder of the fragile yet resilient tapestry of life. And though the whispers of her past strayed behind her like ghosts in the night, Ife refused to look back, for she knew that her destiny lay not in the shadows of yesterday, but in the radiant promise of tomorrow. A promise forged in the crucible of adversity and tempered by the fires of courage and resilience. With each passing day, she drew closer to the sanctuary of safety that beckoned on the horizon, her heart buoyed by the hope of a future untainted by the specter of fear and the shackles of the past. For Ife, the journey was far from over, but with each step she took, she embraced the boundless potential of the unknown. A potential that shimmered like a distant star, guiding her towards a new dawn and a future where her life was truly her own. And as she vanished to the embrace of the open road, Ife knew that she had chosen the path less traveled. A path fraught with uncertainty, but illuminated by a radiant light of her unwavering courage and the unbreakable spirit of a survivor. Ife arrived in the heart of Oke community, nestled amidst the verdant hills and lush forest. Ife found solace in the embrace of a new beginning. Far removed from the chaos and turmoil that had plagued her former life, she sought refuge in the tranquil serenity of her newfound sanctuary. A heaven where the whispers of the past faded into oblivion, replaced by the gentle rustle of leaves and the symphony of nature's melody. Embracing her passion for technology, Ife carved out a niche for herself in the digital realm, weaving intricate webs of code and innovation from the comfort of her secluded abode. With each keystroke, she breathed life into her dreams, transforming pixels into possibilities and aspirations into reality. Remote jobs became her lifeline, a means to sustain herself financially while nurturing her creative spirit in the sanctuary of her home. Despite the vast wealth that lay dormant in her bank account, Ife remained steadfast in her commitment to simplicity, letting go the trappings of opulence for the simple joys of a life lived with purpose and intention. With careful consideration, she chose to invest her resources not in ostentatious displays of extravagance, but in the pursuit of comfort and security, a modest dwelling where she could retreat from the world and commune with the whispers of her soul. Her new home, though unassuming in its facade, exuded an air of quiet elegance, a sanctuary where the boundaries between the physical and digital worlds blurred into insignificance. Within its walls, Ife forged refuge from the tumultuous currents of the outside world, a sanctuary where she could cultivate her passion for technology and innovation without the distractions of the outside world. But amidst the tranquility of her secluded existence, Ife found herself grappling with the echoes of solitude, a loneliness that gnawed at the edges of her consciousness like a persistent ache. Though she reveled in the freedom of solitude, she yearned for human connection, a kindred spirit with whom she could share the depths of her soul and the secrets of her heart. Yet, even in the midst of solitude, Ife remained resolute in her determination to chart her own course, a beacon of strength and resilience in a world fraught with uncertainty. With each passing day, she drew inspiration from the natural beauty that surrounded her, finding solace in the rhythm of the seasons and the timeless wisdom of the earth. For Ife, Oke was more than just a place of refuge. It was a symbol of resilience, a testament to the indomitable spirit of the human soul. And as she gazed out upon the rolling hills and verdant valleys that stretched out before her, Ife knew that she had found her place in the world, a place where her past no longer defined her and her future lay open to endless possibilities. With a resolute determination to leave behind the shadows that had haunted her for so long, she embarked on a journey of self-reinvention, a journey that would see her shed the weight of her former identity and emerge anew, reborn like a phoenix from the ashes of her past. She let go of the name Ife and embraced the English meaning, love. Ife became a relic of a bygone era, stained with memories too painful to bear. In its place stood love, a name imbued with the promise of renewal, a beacon of light to guide her through the darkest of nights. But Ife's transformation did not end there. Seeking to sever the final ties to her former life, she chose to adopt a new surname, Ace, a name that resonated with strength and resilience, a testament to her unwavering resolve to carve out a new path for herself in the world. With each stroke of pen, she forged a new identity, a black canvas upon which she could paint the masterpiece of her destiny. Now Love Ace, she slipped seamlessly into the fabric of her new community. Her presence as unobtrusive as a whisper on the wind. In the quiet corners of Oke, she found solace in the anonymity of her solitude. A solitude that offered her the freedom to explore the depths of her soul without fear of judgment or recrimination. And though the people of her new town may have been unaware of her existence, Love Ace found comfort in the knowledge that she was breaking the shackles of her past. Her days were spent in quiet contemplation, immersed in the gentle rhythms of nature that surrounded her like a warm embrace. She reveled in the simple pleasures of life, a sunrise painting the sky with hues of gold and crimson, the melody of birdsong weaving through the tapestry of her thoughts, the soft caress of a gentle breeze whispering secrets of ancient wisdom. However, beneath the veil of tranquility, Love still carried within her the scars of a past that refused to be forgotten. Though she had fled the trappings of her former life, the memories lingered like shadows in the corners of her mind. A constant reminder of the journey that had brought her to this place of newfound peace. Yet, with each passing day, she found strength in her resilience, drawing upon the wellsprings of courage and determination that lay dormant within her soul. For Love Ace, Oke was more than just a refuge, it was a canvas upon which she could paint the tapestry of her dreams. A sanctuary where she could rediscover the beauty of life and the power of the human spirit to transcend adversity. And as she gazed out upon the world with eyes filled with hope and wonder, Love knew that she had finally found a place where she could embrace her true self and live her life on her own terms. In the same community of Oke lived a young man named John. Having returned from his studies abroad, he longed for the familiar comforts of home, the peace and quiet that only his small town, Oke, could offer. With a heart filled with nostalgia and a spirit brimming with optimism, he made the decision to build his life anew in the place he had always called home. A tech-savvy individual with a penchant for innovation, John embraced the opportunity to work remotely, leveraging his skills to carve out a niche for himself in the digital realm. From the confines of his abode, he embarked on a journey of self-discovery and professional growth, transforming his passion for technology into a lucrative career that transcended the confines of geographical boundaries. Yet, despite his calm demeanor, rumors began to swirl within the tight-knit community of Oke. The sight of John's luxurious house and fleet of luxury cars sparked whispers of suspicion among the townsfolk, who couldn't fathom how he had amassed such wealth without visible means of income. Speculation ran rampant, with some insinuating that John was involved in shady dealings or illicit activities, a notion that gained traction as gossip spread like wildfire through the narrow streets of the town. Unfazed by the unfounded rumors and baseless accusations, John remained steadfast in his commitment to living a life of integrity and authenticity. Determined to prove his detractors wrong, he poured his heart and soul into a new venture, an exquisite relaxation center nestled in the heart of Oke, the town's most picturesque area frequented by the elite. With meticulous attention to detail and a keen eye for design, John transformed the once quiet corner of Oke into a veritable oasis of luxury and sophistication. The relaxation center, with its opulent furnishings and serene ambience, served as a sanctuary for weary souls seeking to escape from the chaos of daily life. From its sprawling gardens to its state-of-the-art amenities, every aspect of the center was a testament to John's unwavering dedication to excellence. When the doors of the relaxation center finally swung open to the public, the response was nothing short of overwhelming. People of class and distinction flocked to Oke from far and wide, drawn by the allure of its newest attraction. As word spread of the center's unparalleled luxury and impeccable service, business boomed, propelling John to even greater heights of success and acclaim. Yet, amidst the flurry of activity and the bustle of patrons, John remained humble and grounded, never losing sight of the values that had guided him on his journey. For him, the true measure of success lay not only in material wealth or societal recognition, but in the ability to make a positive impact on the lives of others, to create a space where people could come together, relax, and forge meaningful connections. As the sun set over the tranquil town of Oke, casting a warm glow over its cobblestone streets and thatched roof cottages, John found himself filled with a sense of gratitude and contentment. For in the quiet moments of reflection, he knew that he had found a place in the world, a place where he could build a life of purpose and meaning, surrounded by the beauty of nature and the warmth of community. As the sun dipped below the horizon, casting a golden hue over the tranquil streets of Oke, fate orchestrated a serendipitous encounter between two souls destined to intertwine in the tapestry of life. In the hushed confines of Jay's Lounge, the relaxation center that had become the heartbeat of the town, John's gaze fell upon love, a vision of grace and elegance that captivated his heart in an instant. Drawn by an irresistible pull, John found himself drawn towards love. His steps guided by an unseen hand that whispered of destiny and possibility. With each passing moment, the distance between them narrowed until they stood face to face, the air alive with electricity of anticipation and possibility. In the flicker of the moment, a spark ignited between them, a connection that transcended the boundaries of time and space, binding their hearts in a silent pact of mutual understanding and acceptance. As they exchanged pleasantries, John's heart swelled with a sense of familiarity, as if he had known love for a lifetime, whereas he had only just met her. Their conversation flowed effortlessly, weaving a tapestry of shared interests and common passions. John was captivated by love's intellect and wit, most especially her passion for technology, which mirrored his own. In her, he found a likened spirit, a soulmate whose presence is about to illuminate the darkest corners of his existence with the radiant light of possibility. As the evening wore on, John and Love found themselves lost in the depths of conversation, their laughter ringing out like a symphony of joy amidst the tranquil serenity of Jay's Lounge. With each passing moment, they discovered new layers to each other's personalities, forging a bond that transcended the constraints of mere acquaintances and blossomed into a deeper and more profound friendship. In love, John found a confidant, a trusted companion with whom he could share his hopes and dreams with, his fears and insecurities. Together, they navigated the complexities of life, finding solace in each other's presence and strength in each other's embrace. From that moment, John and Love became buddies, often hanging out together at Jay's Lounge. They conversed, laughed, and joked as they savored the simple pleasures of life, good food, good company, and the warmth of friendship. One fateful evening, amidst the laughter and friendship, a guest arrived to the lounge, a politician accompanied by his imposing bodyguard. As they entered the lounge, the air seemed to grow heavy with tension, a palpable sense of unease permeating the atmosphere. Love's heart skipped a beat as she locked eyes with the bodyguard, a face from her past, a specter of darkness that threatened to shatter the fragile peace she had worked so hard to build. In an instant, memories long buried beneath the surface surged to the forefront of Love's mind. The chilling echoes of her parents' assassination, the searing pain of loss, and the burning desire for justice that had driven her to seek refuge in the quiet confines of Oke. And there, standing before her, was one of the perpetrators of that heinous act, a silent witness to the devastation he had wrought upon her life. With trembling hands and a heart heavy with dread, Love struggled to contain the flood of emotions threatening to overwhelm her. Her breath caught in her throat as she grappled with the impossible choice before her: to confront the man who had robbed her of everything she held dear, or to retreat into the safety of anonymity and denial. But John, ever perceptive and attuned to Love's slightest movements, sensed her distress and moved closer to her with unwavering support, inquiring what the problem was. As the politician and his bodyguard settled into their seats, oblivious to the turmoil raging within Love's heart, Love's body trembled with fear. Without hesitation, Love explained that she had to go. John gently took her hands and guided her out of the lounge, providing support in her time of need. While driving home, John repeatedly questioned Love about her mood swing at the lounge. As they arrived at Love's house, John urged Love to share her concerns with him. Love poured out her heart to John. Her voice quivered with the weight of her emotions, each word laden with pain of a past that refused to be forgotten. In the sanctuary of the car, amidst the hushed darkness of the night, she revealed to John the harrowing truth that had haunted her for years. The identity of her parents' assailant, a man whose face was seared into her memory just moments ago. I saw the monster who assassinated my parents. Love spoke, trembling and tearful. What? John explained. The man who entered with that affluent man just before we left. He was the one responsible for my parents' death. He was the one that shot my parents with his partner. That fateful night, I hid myself in the kitchen and I saw his face when I peeped. Love continued in uncontrollable tears. Your parents were assassinated? John exclaimed in shock. That's Chief Williams, a senator currently vying for the position of Senate President, and that is his bodyguard, John explained. Chief Williams, a prominent figure in the political landscape, a man of wealth and influence, vying for the position of Senate President, and his bodyguard, the silent sentinel who had stood by his side, a shadowy figure lurking in the periphery of Love's existence. In an instant, the pieces of the puzzle fell into place, connecting the dots of a conspiracy that reached the highest echelons of power and influence. Love revealed her identity as Ife Bamidele, the daughter of the late politician Alex Bamidele, to John's astonishment. John expressed his condolences upon learning about her father's tragic demise. Ife explained that she fled and changed her name after her parents' assassination due to threats on her own life and persistent nightmares. John embraced her tightly, offering his sympathy. After breaking away from the hug, Love asserted, if that man who killed my parent is really Chief Williams' bodyguard, it implies that Chief Williams is connected to my parents' murder. Determined and fueled by a fiery resolve, she vowed to avenge her parents' untimely demise. I must get to the root of the matter and avenge the death of my parents. I would get to the root of the matter and avenge my parents' death, Love said with her eyes burning. As Love's words hung heavy in the air, John's concerns for her safety grew palpable. He couldn't bear the thought of her risking her life to pursue vengeance against powerful and dangerous individuals like Chief Williams and his associates. With a furrowed brow and a heavy heart, he sought to dissuade her from her perilous course of action. That would be a dangerous thing to do. John voiced his apprehension, his tone raised with genuine concern for Love's well-being. These people are dangerous politicians. How do you expect to execute your vengeance? His words were tinged with fear, a reflection of the gravity of the situation they found themselves in. But Love, undeterred by John's warning, remained resolute in her determination to uncover the truth and seek justice for her parents' untimely demise. With unwavering conviction, she brushed aside his concerns with a resolve that belied the turmoil raging within her. You don't have to worry. I won't get you involved. Love assured John, her voice firm and unwavering. Despite his protests, she remained steadfast in her decision to confront the demons of her past head-on, determined to unravel the mystery surrounding her parents' murder and bring their killers to justice. As Love spoke, John watched her with a heavy heart, his mind awash with a whirlwind of conflicting emotions. He couldn't shake the feeling of unease that gnawed at the edges of his consciousness, a nagging sense of feeling that threatened to consume him. In the solitude of his thoughts, John grappled with the enormity of the task that lay ahead, a task fraught with danger and uncertainty. Yet, driven by a fierce determination to protect the one he cared about, he knew that he couldn't stand idly by and watch as love walked into the lion's den alone. He had to find a way to help her, to support her in her quest for justice, no matter the cost. With a heavy heart and a mind consumed by worry, John resolved to stand by Love's side, to offer his unwavering support and guidance as she embarked on her perilous journey. For in her, he saw not only a friend, but a kindred spirit, a soulmate whose courage and resilience inspired him to rise above his own fears and uncertainties. As the night stretched on and the world outside fell silent, John made a vow to do whatever it took to ensure Love's safety and protect her from the dangers that lurked in the shadows. For in the darkness of the night, he knew that their bond would be tested like never before, and only together could they hope to emerge victorious against the forces that sought to tear them apart. The following evening, Love donned a seductive attire, a departure from her usual demeanor, and made her way to the lounge. She chose to sit at the VIP section, precisely where Chief Williams had been seen seated with his guard the previous night. With bated breath, she hoped for his presence, determined to confront the demons of her past once and for all. Meanwhile, John, unable to reach Love on the phone, decided to check the lounge, assuming he would find her there. As he entered, he was taken aback by Love's unconventional attire. It was a stark contrast to her usual modesty. Concerned, he approached her, taking a seat beside her and gently inquiring about her intentions. "Leave," Love commanded, her tone tinged with determination. I can't let you endanger your life." John refused to back down, his resolve unwavering. "I can't leave you alone in harm's way," he insisted, his voice laced with concern and affection. "If you are in this battle, then so am I. Love, I love you, and I won't stand by while you face danger alone." Love's eyes widened in surprise at John's confession. She had never expected him to reveal his feelings so openly and unequivocally. For a moment, she was speechless, her heart swelling with a mixture of emotions, gratitude, astonishment, and a burgeoning sense of hope. But as she looked into John's eyes, she saw the sincerity and conviction that burned within him like a beacon of light in the darkness. In that moment, she knew that she was not alone, that no matter what challenges lay ahead, John would be by her side, a steadfast ally and a source of unwavering support. With a nod of acceptance, Love reached out and clasped John's hands in hers, a silent acknowledgement of the bond that united them. "Let's leave so you will tell me what your plan is," John pleaded, stretching his hands to Love. Love places her palms on his and followed his guidance, and John led her out. As they drove out, they sighted Chief Williams and his bodyguard driving to the lounge. "Now, tell me what your plan is," John asked Love, and Love replied, "Well, the plan is to make him notice me and approach me. You know, one of this politician's weaknesses is women. I'll gain his trust, get the truth, and strike. Let's go to my house so you can explain your plan," John implored, reaching out his hands to Love. "Now tell me about your plan," John urged, turning to face Love with a mix of curiosity and apprehension. Love took a deep breath before responding. "The plan is to catch his attention and make him approach me. Like I said, one of the weaknesses of politicians like him is women," she explained calmly. "I would use that to my advantage, gain his trust, uncover the truth, and then strike." John listened intently, absorbing every word as Love laid out her strategy. Despite his concerns for her safety, he couldn't deny the logic behind her plan. Politicians often had vulnerabilities, and exploiting them could be a strategic move. "Are you sure about this?" John asked, his voice tinged with worry. "It could be dangerous." Love met his gaze with unwavering determination. "I know the risks, but I can't let my fear hold me back," she replied firmly. "I need to uncover the truth about who is responsible for my parents' death, and this is the only way I know how." John nodded, silently acknowledging Love's resolve. He knew he couldn't dissuade her from her course of action, but he could support her and watch her back every step of the way. "I'll be right there with you," John assured her, reaching out to squeeze her hand in a gesture of solidarity. "Whatever happens, we will face it together," John assured. With a sense of determination and purpose, Love and John prepared to embark on their risky endeavor. The following evening, as they watched Chief Williams enter the lounge from a distance, they knew that their journey was just beginning. But with their bond stronger than ever, they were ready to confront whatever challenges lay ahead, united in their quest for truth and justice. As Love and John waited in the car, they watched as Chief Williams and his bodyguard enter the lounge. Love's heart pounded with anticipation as she mentally prepared herself for the task ahead. With John by her side, she felt a newfound sense of courage and determination. Inside the lounge, Love strategically positioned herself in a way that would catch Chief Williams' attention. Dressed in the seductive attire she had chosen for the occasion, she exuded an air of confidence and allure that was impossible to ignore. As the evening progressed, she noticed Chief Williams glancing in her direction more than once, his gaze lingering on her for a moment longer than necessary. Seizing the opportunity, Love made subtle eye contact with Chief Williams, offering him a coy smile that piqued his interest. Intrigued, Chief Williams began to make his way towards her, his bodyguard closely following behind. With every step he took, Love's heart raced with anticipation, knowing that this was her chance to uncover the truth. As Chief Williams approached, Love greeted him with a warm smile, her voice dripping with charm and charisma. "Good evening, sir," she said, her tone laced with a hint of flirtation. "It's a pleasure to meet you." Chief Williams returned her smile, his eyes gleaming with interest. "The pleasure is all mine," he replied smoothly, taking a seat beside her. "May I have the honor of knowing your name, young lady?" "Of course," Love replied, her heart pounding. "My name is Love." Chief Williams' smile widened. "Well, Love, I must say you are a very beautiful lady, and you've certainly caught my attention," he remarked, his voice smooth and persuasive. "My name is Chief Williams. I'm sure you know me anyway." Love smiled and replied, "I'm sorry, sir. This is my first time of meeting you. I've never heard of you before." That means you're not attuned with the politics of your country." "That's not good," Chief Williams said. "Oh, my bad," Love replied. "So, what brings you to a place like this?" Chief Williams asked. Love leaned in closer, her eyes sparkling with mischief. "Oh, just looking for a bit of excitement," she replied coyly, "and perhaps a little adventure." Chief Williams chuckled, charmed by her playful demeanor. "Well, you've certainly come to the right place," he said, his tone suggestive. "Care to join me for a drink?" As Love and Chief Williams conversed, a subtle dance of manipulation began to unfold. Chief Williams, captivated by Love's charm and allure, couldn't resist the temptation to spend more time with her. As the night wore on and the hours slipped away, he left his card with her, urging her to call him. It was evident to Love that Chief Williams enjoyed her company and harbored a desire to further their relationship. Seizing the opportunity, she made sure to call him, initiating a series of encounters at the lounge, where they would spend time together. However, unknown to Chief Williams, John was always parked nearby, keeping a watchful eye on Love's safety. Over time, Love carefully cultivated Chief Williams' trust, weaving a web of deceit and manipulation to draw him closer. As their interactions continued, Chief Williams grew increasingly enamored with Love, eventually asking her to be his girl and promising to lavish her with gift items and attention. Sensing an opportunity to get even closer to him, Love reluctantly agreed, knowing that this was a necessary step in her quest for justice. She began visiting Chief Williams in his hotel, playing the role of the devoted girlfriend while maintaining a facade of innocence and virtue. Despite John's growing concerns about the nature of their relationship, Love reassured him that she was merely biding her time, waiting for the right moment to strike. When Chief Williams returned to Abuja, promising to visit Oke in 2-week intervals, Love's resolve was put to the test. With each passing day, John's anxiety mounted, fearing that Love may have compromised herself in pursuit of her goal. He confronted her about his fears, voicing his concerns about her safety and well-being. However, Love, steadfast in her determination, reassured John that she was not like that she was merely playing a role to gain Chief Williams' trust. She promised him that she would not allow Chief Williams to take advantage of her, and that she was guarding herself carefully and would not let her emotions cloud her judgment. As they continued their conversation, Love's conviction shone through. Her unwavering resolve, a testament to her strength and determination. With John's support, she remained steadfast in her mission, knowing that the truth was within her grasp and that justice would soon be served. And as they faced the challenges that lay ahead, Love knew that she could rely on John to stand by her side, no matter the obstacles they encountered along the way. On a fateful day, Chief Williams returned to Uche with the hopes of spending quality time with Love. In his private executive suite, the receptionists were already acquainted with Love's presence and were aware that Chief Williams expected Love's arrival. As Love ascended the stairs towards the suite, a faint murmur caught her attention. Chief Williams' voice resonated from within the suite, engaged in what appeared to be a private conversation. Sensing an opportunity, Love discreetly reached for her phone, intending to record the exchange. The words that echoed through the door sent shockwaves of disbelief and anguish coursing through Love's being. Chief Williams' admission over the phone reverberated in her ears like a damning indictment, confirming her darkest suspicions. Senator, I will not accept this. I ordered the assassination of Alex Bamidele for this position. Don't let me spill more blood. Handle it or else I wouldn't mind, he declared with chilling resolve. Love stood frozen in that place, her heart wrenching with grief and fury. The revelation that Chief Williams had orchestrated her parents' murder for political gain struck her like a dagger to the heart. Yet, amidst the tumult of emotions threatening to overwhelm her, Love knew she could not afford to betray any sign of distress. To retreat now would arouse suspicion, especially with the watchful eyes of the receptionist upon her. Summoning every ounce of strength and resolve, Love composed herself, pressed the bell to announce her arrival. The door swung open, revealing Chief Williams standing before her with a welcoming smile. With a heavy heart, Love feigned a smile, concealing the turmoil raging within her. As Chief Williams enveloped her in his embrace, Love fought to suppress the torrent of emotions threatening to spill forth. Beneath the guise of affection, she harbored a seething fury and an unwavering determination to avenge her parents' death. In that moment, Love realized that her mission had taken a newfound urgency. She could no longer afford to remain passive or play the role of the compliant girlfriend. It was time to take decisive action, to strike and make Chief Williams pay for his atrocities. As she endured Chief Williams' embrace, Love's mind raced with plans and strategies, each one more daring than the last. She vowed to bring justice to her parents' memory and ensure that Chief Williams faced the full consequences of his actions. With the weight of her newfound knowledge pressing upon her, Love knew that the path ahead would be fraught with danger and uncertainty. But she was undeterred, fueled by a burning desire for vengeance and a relentless pursuit of the truth. And as she stood in Chief Williams' embrace, she silently vowed to stop at nothing until justice was served and her parents' legacy vindicated. As Chief Williams momentarily retreated to his room, Love seized the opportunity to concoct an excuse for her departure. With a quick thinking mind, she feigned engagement in a business call, her fingers dancing across her phone screen in a semblance of urgency. Chief Williams re-entered the room, encountering Love seemingly engrossed in a conversation. "Give me a few minutes, sir. I'll get back to you," Love murmured, her tone brimming with faint professionalism as she pretended to address someone on the other end of the line. With a tap on her phone, she feigned to end the call, fabricating a final response before turning her attention to Chief Williams. "I'm so sorry, sir. I need to leave now. There is an urgency I have to attend to," Love announced, her voice laced with a sense of urgency. Chief Williams, reluctant to let her go, inquired if the matter could wait. "I'm sorry, Chief, but it really can't. It's related to an app I developed for a client, and I have just been notified of some critical issues that need immediate attention," Love replied, her words carefully crafted to elicit sympathy and understanding. With a reluctant nod, Chief Williams acquiesced, arranging for Tunde, his bodyguard, to accompany Love. But Love, determined to make a swift exit, declined Chief Williams' offer, citing Tunde's absence on an errand, and expressing her desire not to inconvenience him further. With a promise to reconnect the following day, Love bid Chief Williams farewell and hastily made her escape. Outside, John waited patiently, his concern mounting with each passing moment. As Love entered his car, her facade crumbled, tears streaming down her cheeks as she struggled to contain the torrent of emotions raging within her. Through choked sobs, Love revealed the harrowing truth to John, that Chief Williams was indeed responsible for her parents' murder. In that moment of vulnerability, she found solace in John's unwavering support, his comforting presence serving as a beacon of strength amidst the darkness that threatened to engulf her. As they drove away from the hotel, Love's mind raced with thoughts of retribution and justice. She knew that the road ahead would be fraught with peril and uncertainty. In the aftermath of her revelation, Love's resolve burned brighter than ever, fueled by a fierce determination to seek justice for her parents and ensure that Chief Williams paid for his sins. In John's home, they both sat together, their minds consumed by the weight of their conversation. Love's mind paced, her thoughts swirling with a potent mix of anger and determination. Our next step is to make him pay for his sins, John declared, breaking the tense silence that hung between them. Love's response was swift and unequivocal. Of course, with my own hands I shall take his life, along with that useless bodyguard of his, she declared, her voice dripping with venomous resolve. John's brows furrowed in concern. A nagging suspicion began to gnaw at the edges of his mind. What do you mean? He asked, his tone tinged with apprehension. Don't tell me you're planning to murder him, John interjected. Love's response was unyielding. Was that not what all of this stress and risk have been for? To kill the killers of my parents, she retorted, her gaze unwavering. But John would have none of it. You would do no such thing, he insisted, his voice laced with a mixture of concern and admonition. You shouldn't soil your hands in your quest for vengeance. Justice is what you should seek, he warned, his words tinged with a sense of urgency. But Love remained resolute, her determination unshaken. What justice? She countered, her voice tinged with bitterness and frustration. You and I both know that the justice system in this country is flawed. I will enact justice myself, she declared, her tone firm and unwavering. And so the argument reached on, with Joy and Love locked in a fierce battle of wills. John insisted that he could not condone or support Love's plan to commit murder as a form of vengeance, urging her to seek a more lawful and morally justifiable course of action. But Love remained steadfast in her convictions, unwilling to back down from her quest for retribution. As the tension between them reached a boiling point, John issued a stark ultimatum. If Love persisted in her plan to take matters into her own hands, he would be forced to sever all ties with her. It was a threat born out of love and concern, a desperate plea to prevent Love from descending down a path of darkness and despair. But Love's resolve remained unyielding, her determination to avenge her parents' death eclipsing all rational thought. Love found herself settled on a collision course with fate itself. As John and Love stood at the precipice of an uncertain future, their bond strained to its breaking point by the weight of their conflicting ideals. Only time would tell which path they would ultimately choose. But one thing was certain. The road ahead would be fraught with peril and uncertainty, as Love embarked on a journey into the heart of darkness in pursuit of her own brand of justice. Love left John's house that night, feeling shattered and conflicted. Alone in the sanctuary of her room, she grappled with the weight of John's ultimatum and the ramifications of her quest for vengeance. As she lay awake in the darkness, her mind churned with thoughts of the love she shared with John and the toll her vendetta had taken on their relationship. In the stillness of the night, Love came to a momentous decision. She resolved to heed John's counsel and pursue justice through lawful means, forsaking the path of violence and retribution that threatened to consume her soul. With a newfound sense of purpose, she set out at dawn to seek reconciliation with John and enlist his aid in her newfound quest for justice. Arriving at John's doorstep, Love was met with a guarded reception. John, though visibly surprised by her presence, greeted her with cautious skepticism and asked what she was doing in his house. With humility and sincerity, Love extended her heartfelt apologies and pledged her commitment to follow John's lead in seeking justice through legal channels. To her relief and joy, John welcomed her with open arms, his eyes alight with hope and renewed faith in their partnership. Recognizing the significance of the evidence she had gathered, John wasted no time in devising a plan to leverage it against Chief Williams. With steely resolve, they reached out to Love's trusted lawyer, enlisting his aid in reopening her father's case and presenting the voice record, the damning evidence against Chief Williams. As they awaited the lawyer's response, Love remained hidden away in the safety of John's home, taking precautions to conceal her whereabouts from Chief Williams, who she was certain would stop at nothing to find her since she did not show up at his suite again. With each passing day, the tension mounted as Love and John braced themselves for the inevitable reckoning that awaited them. Meanwhile, Chief Williams, unaware of Love's real identity and determination to seek justice, returned to Abuja after he couldn't reach Love. On getting to Abuja, he received a fateful message informing him of the charges filed against him in connection to Alex Bamidele's murder. This news sent shockwaves of panic coursing through his veins as the gravity of his crimes finally caught up with him. In the end, justice prevailed as Chief Williams and his accomplices faced the full wrath of the law. With the weight of irrefutable evidence stacked against Chief Williams, he was convicted and sentenced to life imprisonment. Love finally found closure. As the dust settled and the echoes of the trial faded into memory, Love found solace and redemption in the arms of John, her steadfast partner and unwavering pillar of strength. United in their triumph over adversity, they stood together, bound by a love that had weathered the storm and emerged stronger than ever before. And together, they tied the knot, living happily ever after. Thanks for clicking to watch, guys. Hope you enjoyed the story. If you did, kindly let me know in the comment section. And trust me, guys, when I say you are missing on a whole lot if you haven't subscribed to this channel and turned on the notification bell to get notified whenever we post new videos. Your support means the world to us, guys, so please like and share our videos and do not hesitate to leave your thoughts and feedback in the comment section. Together, let's continue to grow and foster a vibrant community around our shared passion for film and entertainment. Thank you all for your continued support. See you all in the next episode.